Hello and welcome to a video on how to assist transfer students. Let's get started. Let's start by discussing a few key points regarding transfer students. Transfer students refer to students who come to your school after the school year has begun, or students who leave or withdraw from your school during the year. We as AP coordinators can adjust orders for students who transfer to our school without incurring additional fees. We can also adjust orders for students who transfer out of our school without incurring additional fees. This policy does not apply to students at our schools who join or drop an AP class after the fall ordering deadline. Let me repeat that, as join and drop are the key words in that sentence. This policy does not apply to students at our school who join or drop an AP class after the ordering deadline. When we have a transfer student to or out of our school, there are some specific actions we need to take to accurately account for these transfer students. Students who transfer to our school need to enroll using a unique transfer code for each of their class sections or exam-only sections. For students who transfer out of our school, we need to indicate them as a transfer in AP registration and ordering. Let's talk about the difference between a transfer code and a join code. Transfer codes are different from the join code we distributed at the beginning of the school year in the following ways. The transfer code can only be accessed and provided by AP coordinators. AP teachers do not have access to the transfer code. The transfer code is required to automatically waive any late order fees for students who transfer to our schools. Now let's talk about the steps to take when we have a student transferring to our school. Our first step will be to provide the student with the transfer code, not the join code, for each class section or exam-only section that they need to enroll in. We do not have to wait for a student to be transferred out of the school section at their previous school. Our goal is to get them the transfer code as soon as possible so that they can access AP classroom materials and to indicate their exam decision. When a student uses a transfer code to enroll in a class section at our school, they are also removed from class sections at their previous schools. It is important to provide the transfer code for a class section to a transfer student, even if they were not enrolled in a class section for the subject at their previous school. Finally, if additional students transfer to our schools, we will need to provide the transfer code for each necessary class section to each student on a one-by-one basis. We are now ready to locate the transfer code to give those students who are transferring to our schools. In AP registration and ordering, we will navigate to the courses page, locate the course the student is enrolling in, and find the class section that they are being scheduled for. When we locate the appropriate class section that the student is enrolled in, we will scroll to the far right and click on the drop-down arrow under the Actions. From the choices, we will select See Transfer Code. After we see the transfer code, we will have this box come up. The box will tell us in the upper left-hand corner that this is a transfer code. In the middle of the box, we will see the transfer code for this particular AP course and class section. This is the code we want to give the students transferring to our school. It is very important to keep in mind that using a transfer code does not automatically order an exam for a student. If a student enrolls with a transfer code after we've submitted our exam order, we will take the following steps. We'll update our exam roster and then submit a change to our order for that student. Doing these steps will ensure an accurate exam order. If one of your students is withdrawing from our school, it is important to follow the transfer out process. Our ability as AP coordinators to transfer out a student is not dependent on the student's new school enrolling them as a transfer in. To complete a transfer out, we will select it in AP registration and ordering for the student as soon as they have officially transferred out of our school. Let's take a look at where to do this. So let's walk through the steps of completing a transfer out. In AP Registration and Ordering, we'll navigate to the Students page. When we locate the student we need to transfer out, in this case, Dia K, we will click the drop-down arrow next to Actions. From the Actions drop-down, we will select Transfer Out. When we select Transfer Out, the box on this slide will appear. It's important that we read this box carefully, and if the student has withdrawn from our school, click in the checkbox to attest that the student is no longer at our school. As we can see from the text in this box, once we select the Submit button, this action cannot be undone. It's important to remember if we have already submitted our exam order to set the student's status to transfer out and submit our pending order change. By doing this step, the student's exams and fees will be removed from our exam order. Thank you for viewing this video on transfer students.